Hello, I'm Casey Deary, and I'd like to spend a minute to discuss the timeline of how I like to transition my horses from the very beginning to the finished product. So I like to always start my babies in a halter, and I do that for the reason that they are comfortable in that halter. They've been led around for the last year or two depending, so they're comfortable in that, and I try to put as little amount of stress on them as possible. So once we've ridden them in a halter for 3 or 4 days, long enough that I can pitch it over their head and go back and forth, then I transition them into a very soft Bosal or Hackamore. You can see this one bends and stays floppy. There's no metal core in here. This is a very soft bridle. From there, we'll go to a tighter braided pig and string Hackamore if I need to, if they've got a little bit stiff of a nose. That will help me get a little pliability. And they stay in this a couple of days. I try not to overdo this, but I may ride a colt in this bridle, or sorry, this Hackamore for 2 or 3 months, depending on what they'll let me do. So from there we go to a smooth snaffle. I do the majority of my horse training in that smooth snaffle. I need to know that my horse can do all the maneuvers and all the parts before I progress. Then I move to this bridle. This is my snaffle gag. They'll spend 2 weeks or so in that. Once they're soft in this, I may go back to this for a while. When I feel like they're operating and they're doing every maneuver that I'd like them to do in this smooth snaffle, then I transition into this bridle, this small correctional. So it may be 6 months into my training that they go to this, and it may be a year that they go into this. So depending on the horse, I like to make sure that my 3-year-olds are in a shanked bridle by the first of the year. So from there, all of them are different, but I try from the first of the year to go into this. This is the slider correctional, gives me a little more leverage. From that spot, I go into a solid bridle about, say, September of their 3-year-old year. On average, I get them into a bridle that I'll be showing them in. And then I have a few bridles in the tack room that stay in the tack room that are a little more severe that we use if we're needing to work on a specific thing, and then I go back to something with a lot of tongue release.